Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, you are welcome. Please don't forget to subscribe, like this video to help this channel out, drop a comment, share with your friends, and turn on the notification bell to get notified whenever I drop another beautiful video. So in today's video, I'll be teaching you how I made this Afro wig with a frontal, how I ventilated the frontal, how I crocheted the back and trim it, then how I style it. And here are the material you needed for the tutorial. You need ceres expression. You can use any color of your choice. I use wine color. You need a net wig cap. The one I use here is Kids Beauty mono mesh cap. You need crochet pin and you need your Swiss nails for frontal. If you haven't watched how I cut this nails, the link is on the description box down below, or you can check my page for that. Place your net on the mannequin head and use tipping to secure it so that you will not be pulling up where you start your ventilation or where you want to measure anything on the net. Then I pick one piece out of the hair. I cut it into my desired length. At this point, it depends on how long or how short you want the wig to look like. So I cut mine into 3. You might decide to cut yours into 4, 5, but at most 6 so that it will not be too short. For easy ventilation, I pick the one in the middle, pick small pieces out of it, then I comb it out to make sure it's tangle free. Then I fold it into 2 and make sure one end is longer than the other so that the frontal will not be too short, so that it can have equal length with the back section. So this is not my first time of explaining how to ventilate a frontal on my page. I don't want to be repeating the same thing every time, but for the sake of new viewers that are just joining us, I'm still going to explain briefly. But I have a separate video explaining how to ventilate a frontal. If you have interest in those videos, you can check my page or click on the link on the description box down below to watch it. So there are different methods of ventilation. We have vertical method, we have horizontal, and we have diagonal. So I'm using the diagonal method of ventilation here. Instead of ventilating on a straight line, which is the vertical method, we are going to follow the slanted line, which is the diagonal method. So you pass your pin through the net, bring out just 2 strands of hair. Wrap your pin through the hair and pass it through the loop. Pass your pin through the net, bring out 2 strands of hair. Wrap your pin through the hair and pass it through the loop. And the reason why I'm using 2 strands of hair at the back is because the hair is very thick. Using more than 2 strands of hair at the back will only make it rough, like the knot will be very visible. It will not look natural. I noticed something when I was checking the recordings. I noticed that the hole on the net is not visible to the camera simply because the mannequin hair that I was using here has almost the same color with the net, so I have to change the mannequin head to the one that has darker shade. As you can see here, I've changed the mannequin head to the darker one, and if you notice, I'm almost done with the half of the wig here. So I'm going to explain how I ventilate the front hairline to look natural. So I have to continue my hair ventilation here from the front because I want to explain how to get a natural hairline here. Instead of using 2 strands of hair that we have been using at the back, when you get to the front hairline, we are going to use just 1 strand of hair so that the hair can have natural hairline. So if you don't know how to get a perfect hairline or how to draw a perfect hairline for your frontal, I have a separate video for that. You can check my page or you click on the link on the description box down below to watch how to get a perfect hairline for your frontal. So I have to fast forward the rest of this ventilation video because I don't want this video to be too long. Once you know how to pass your pin through the net and make out the hair, you don't have any problem. Just know that you use 2 strands at the back, and when you get to the front, you are going to use 1 strand. So I'm done with the whole frontal ventilation here. You can see how neat and full it is. So I'm trying to show you the back section so that you can see that I'm not done with the whole wig. So the next thing to do is to place your net wig cap on the mannequin head. Then after that, you place the frontal on the wig cap before you start sewing it. So I've done that here. I'm trying to show you. Just make sure the back is very flat and the front is forming like M shape. So the next thing to do is to start your sewing from one side to another. Make sure you are not leaving too much space in between. and make sure you are knotting it at least twice to secure it. So you will continue your sewing until you reach the last line at the other side of the frontal. So as you can see here, I'm closer to the middle section here, and if you look closely, you will notice that I'm not giving too much space. The reason why I'm repeating that is because we are working with a net wig cap. If you give too much space, it will definitely affect your wig when you are done sewing. So don't give too much space when you are sewing it. So I have to fast forward the remaining part because I don't want this video to be too long. As you can see here, I'm done with the sewing. You can see how neat and firm it looks like. Then the next thing is to start the crochets from the back section. I have to use the smallest size of the crochet pin here because I noticed that the bigger one will not enter, and I don't want to be working with too much hair at once too. So I'm picking small pieces out of the hair. I'm using crochet pin to pass through the net. Then you can try to knot yours twice, but I'm knotting this one only once, as you can see here. Then I'm using my hand to secure it so that it will not be losing out when I finish the crocheting. I'm very sure you can see the amount of hair I'm picking here is not too big and not too small. Then when you are crocheting your hair, make sure you are not giving too much space, and make sure you are not overcrowding the net because it's an Afro wig. Either way, it will still come out nice. And the spacing depends on how full or scanty you want your wig to look like. For this particular Afro wig, I almost finished 2 packs of ceres expression. The pack of hair you will use for this style depends on the length of hair you are working with. If it's cut 6, 1 pack should be enough. But since I'm working with cut 3, if you're working with cut 3, cut 4, just know that you will use more than 1 pack of ceres expression. Before I finish crocheting the whole wig, I want to show you something at the front section. To cover the sewing part at the front section so that it will not be showing thread when you start parting your frontal to any style you want, you need to pick small pieces of the hair, like smaller to the one you will be using at the back. Then pass your pin through the net, bring the small pieces out, and make sure you are not giving any space at all compared to the back. You are still spacing it at the back. So when you get to this part, you will not leave any space at all. Then make sure the amount of hair you are working with is very, very small compared to the one you are using at the back. So I have to fast forward these parts because I don't want this video to be too long. So when I'm done doing the front section, I have to continue my crocheting from the back, and make sure you are doing it in a circular motion just like you are seeing in this video. Since I've shown you how to do this at the beginning of this video, I have to fast forward this part too because it will be like repetition and it will make the video unnecessarily long. So I have to fast forward this so that it will not be too long. So I'm done with the whole crocheting hair. The next thing to do is to trim the hair. Make sure you are using your hand to pull the hair up just like I'm doing in this video before you start trimming it so that the trimming can rhyme. And this is how it looks like when I'm done trimming it. So next thing to do is to style the hair to any style you want. This is where your hot comb and your wax stick comes in. I forgot to record the part where I apply wax stick, but you can actually apply the hot comb without wax stick. Just make sure that the hot comb is very hot and use it to press the front hairline down so that you can see the frontal clearly. Before I continue with the tutorial, I would like to thank each and every one of you that has been reaching out to me to patronize my small business. Aside the wigs, the frontal, the closures, the full lace you see on my page that I'm selling, I'm also selling wigging and hair ventilation material. If you have interest on any of these, you can screenshot it and send it to me on this phone number you are seeing on your screen. Or if I do not upload what you want, just send the picture to me on WhatsApp. I will definitely get it for you. Thank you. And this is how it looks like when I'm done styling it. You can leave it at middle parts, you can decide to leave it up back, or you can try C-cut, or you can even go with braiding. Since it's a frontal, you can go with any style of your choice. So this is how it looks like when I finally install it on my head and I slay it. You can imagine how many compliments I get on this hair. People are just appreciating it. Like, it's very, very beautiful. So if you get one or two things from this video, please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Like this video to help this channel out. Drop a comment, share with your friend, and turn on the notification bell to get notified whenever I drop another beautiful video. See you in my next video. Bye.